Hello and good evening to you. Welcome to News 360. And I'm coming to you live from our studios here at Desawa in Kanda, specifically from the News Hub. My name is Alfred Okanse.
And I am Solis Rose Quarty. Coming up in the next 60 minutes.
News 360 Headlines is brought to you by
Fulani Association of Ghana turned to the United Nations to see to the protection of its members.
Also, minority in Parliament asks Health Ministry to stop attempts to manage the newly constructed 650-bed University of Ghana Medical Center.
Still related to Fulani Herdsmen, we bring you details of what the owners are talking about, specifically with respect to the directive to shoot to kill the cattle on site. To bring you details of that as well. Also, where the minority in Parliament raising questions about a new directive by government that the University of Ghana Medical Center be handed over to the Ministry of Health.
Now, fisherfolk at Azizanya Ayigbo in Ada East are alarmed at the continuous consumption of the poisonous puffer fish.
Bring you details of this and more, plus what's happening on the international front, where Kenya's health minister is investigating some issues. That's what's happening in the country. All this and more here on News 360. Stay with us. In the next 60 minutes, we'll bring you details of that. Our first story this evening, the Fulani Association of Ghana has appealed to the United Nations to see to the protection of its members as provided by the United Nations Charter. At a news conference here in Accra, the association demanded compensation for those whose cattle have been shot and killed in the joint police-military operation at Agor and its environs, and an immediate halt to what it described as unwarranted atrocities meted out to its members. Here's a report by Daniel Opoko.
The association expressed strong reservations about the military action, alleging that more than 15 of their members have been killed since December last year. It also claimed that over 7,000 of their houses have been burnt down, while 1,500 cattle have been killed. According to the association, an estimated 6 million cedis had been lost through the actions by the joint military police force.
Even animals have got their right. Animals, we have their right. We have laws that respect the animals' survival on our planet. You cannot take the law in your hand and then start airstrike. You can do this thing only in the case of there's open war against Ghana or open rebel against Ghana, but not people on the ground. This is not accepted.
The association requested President Akufo-Addo to step in as it gathers evidence of the brutalities to the United Nations for redress.
So now we are addressing our grievances through constitutional relations. If anybody else has similar things to do against our presence or against our stand, why are they hiding to take the law into their hand? Let them come out on the floor to defend their cause.
Already, the Fulanis have been accused of allowing their cattle to stray, destroying farmlands and property. Professor Usman Ubari has dared those whose farmlands have been destroyed, following the activities of the herdsmen to provide evidence.
Those who are saying that their farms have been destroyed and whatnot and this and that, and also they claim that their women have been raped. This is what I'm saying. We have now shown you pictures of the atrocities carried against the Fulanis. I want to cite one instance when such people have taken a killed animal to come against this.
The association says it would petition ECOWAS and other embassies in Ghana.
Now let's take a look at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights that was drawn in 1948. We're going to look at one or two of the articles and basically have an idea of exactly what rights Fulani herdsmen also have or also enjoy. Now let's look at Article 1, which says that all human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Now they are endowed with reason and conscience and should act towards one another in a spirit of brotherhood. Article 2 says everyone is entitled to all the rights and freedom set forth in this declaration without distinction of any kind, such as race, color, sex, language, religion, political or other opinion, national or social origin, property, birth or other status. Let's take a look at a couple more. Article 3 says everyone has the right to life, liberty and security of person. Security of person will be stressed here. And 5 says no one shall be subjected to torture or to cruel, inhuman or degrading treatment or punishment. Article 6 says everyone has the right to recognition everywhere as a person before the law. We can do a couple more. Let's see. And 7 says all are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. That's basically what these headsmen are asking for, that they all be treated equally under the law that governs this country. There are a few more. There are actually about 30 articles in the Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948. But let me hand over to Alfred as we continue with the bulletin.
Thank you, Solace. Yeah, so that's what the law really states, that Universal Declaration of Human Rights there. Now, this has been happening in many parts of the country, here, from Plains, Agogo, and some other parts of the Eastern and the Ashanti region especially. I've been joined via Skype by Adam Bona. He is the Chief Executive Officer of the Security Warehouse. He's a security analyst to help us understand this demand by the Fulani Herdsmen. It's good to have you. Good evening to you, Mr. Bona.
Good evening and good evening.
Thank you very much for your time this evening. Now, we've gone on this path of shoot to kill before. I recall in 2014, the Member of Parliament for the Achim area gave this directive. In 2016, the then Eastern Regional Police Commander, ACP Awuni, also gave this particular directive. We can also say the same for what's happening now down the line. Now, from your assessment of the situation, could we have had any other option than resorting to this shoot to kill that we are enforcing now?
Yes, I think they are. Yeah, thank you very much. And then once again, good evening to our cherished viewers. There are so many options available to us as a nation. But first of all, I think what the stand we have taken as a nation, I would want to say as a nation, because this is the state security, agents, sent out there and have been instructed to shoot on sight, and therefore this is reprehensible. I don't think this can be done in any civilized, country. But unfortunately, in the 21st century, I mean, with the Fourth Republican Constitution, or the Fourth Republic, is 25 years, and one would have thought that by now we would have enacted laws that would protect, everyone who is within this country. And so it is something that I would have thought that cool heads would have reigned, because at the moment we are killing these animals. Remember, I mean, animal rights activists would tell you that these animals have some rights, and therefore you can't just get up and then shoot them on sight. I would have wished that, I've said it repeatedly, that we need to have had this ranching law. Let's have crowds where these animals are going to be reared, so that they don't have to be, moving, destroying people's farms. But the bottom, the crux of this whole issue, which I think we've forgotten to talk about, has to do with, we have not investigated most of these atrocities that have been alleged. It have been perpetrated by the Fulanis or the nomadic herdsmen, right, or by how we call it the indigents. These people, usually lands are leased to them by some of our chiefs. And when these lands are leased to them, the same lands are also given to the indigents to farm on. And that is where the conflict starts. And so I would have wished our security agencies, national security, the police, the intelligence network, I keep saying is next to zero, would have investigated some of these atrocities. So that, you see, at the end of the day, if there are criminal elements among the Fulani headsmen or the headsmen, they are brought to book and punished. But unfortunately, these things keep going on. We've sent military officers, we've sent police officers there with instructions to shoot on sight. I don't blame the police officers and the military officers. I blame, the policy makers who send them there. As for the security agents, the police and the military, they take instructions. And once they see this to be a lawful or that they are going to act on. And
right.
so that is how the situation is.
You make a critical point about the security agencies and their role in this. Now, you have the Agogo commander issue that directive to shoot to kill on sight. Now, these cattle owners and headsmen have resorted to the United Nations, the African Union for protection, sort of. Have we gotten to this point as yet?
Oh, I think as a sovereign country, well, we have the right to self-protect. We have the right to self-defend. And so, to me, I think we haven't gotten there yet. They probably, I would see this one of the ways to draw public attention to what is happening in this country. But remember, this issue is not only limited to Ghana. It is just, it is around the West Coast, around West Africa. I mean, recently in Nigeria, we had, and the situation in most of the other countries is even more deadly because we have a larger number of Fulanis living in some of these countries. Nigeria's own was twice, 3 weeks ago, on some of their own brothers and sisters, and, a lot of things happen. And so I would have wished that we would have dialogue. This situation needs a lot of mediation, a lot of dialogue, and a lot of, putting in measures that would ensure that these animals, I'm sure you know,
right.
You would have to check that we 200 million of meat product into this country. One district, one factory. I would have wished that the MP for Agogo, I think is Honorable Apiakubi, when they said they have to go, where are they going to? I would have wished that you say,
right.
They have to go, yeah.
Mr. Bona, finally, now, one of the problems that's been identified is the ethnicizing of this whole problem, so that if we refer to them as Fulani headsmen instead of nomadic headsmen who move around, how has that contributed to the situation as we're confronted with now?
Yes, I mean, that is how terrible it is, because you see, not every Fulani who is a headsman or headswoman. Remember, our second lady is a Fulani. Are you going to say she follows cattle around? No. And so let's be specific and say nomadic herdsmen. We have our own indigents, Akans, people from the north and the south, everywhere, who also shepherd these animals around. And so the target itself has not helped the situation. And so we've got to be very careful. We don't begin to, incite the communities against community, incite tribe against tribe. What we are doing, I think, is got to stop. And I would hope that the commander-in-chief, the president, would take a stand and say, can we resolve this issue amicably? He needs to I know there were committees that were put in place to resolve this issue in the past. Why can't we revive it and make sure it doesn't happen?
Mr. Bona, I thank you for your thoughts this evening, as always. I'm grateful. Adam Bona is the CEO of the Security Warehouse, joining us via Skype on this rather raging issue of Fulani or nomadic headsmen, mostly who are Fulanis as well.
News 360 Skype interview is brought to you by MTN, everywhere you go.
Now, still on this particular issue of nomadic headsmen, Section 303 of the Criminal Code criminalizes abuse in any form of animals. However, the DCE of the Asante-Achim North District and the Konongo Divisional Police Commander ordered a shoot and kill approach of cattle belonging to the nomadic headsmen. Now, have the DC and the MP erred in ordering the police to shoot and kill? Godfred Tanham has been finding out.
Now that the Fulanis are firing back, what should we do? We have to sit down and restructure the first order so that now they'll go in full aggression so that they can kill or shoot at anything on sight. That's the only order that we are looking for.
The Asante-Achim North District Chief Executive Francis Otibuatin made this order after a District Security Council meeting. This was followed by another one from the Konongo Divisional Police Commander, Superintendent Ohini Buedi.
And to be safe, if you see anybody holding arms want to attempt you, please don't waste time. Are the Fulanis better than us? No, sir. Can they shoot better than us? No, sir. Can they do the military and police job more than us? No, sir. They say they are guerrilla tactics, they are guerrilla fighters, and they are going to ambush you and shoot you. Please, I beg you in the name of God, Nobody should die in the bush as a police or soldier or whatever. We are going back with our number and come back with our number.
The Criminal Code of Ghana amended 2003 Act 646, Chapter 9, Section 303 states, a person who cruelly beats, kicks, ill-treats, overrides, overloads, tortures, infuriates, or terrifies any animal, or causes, or procures, or being the owner, permits any animal to be so used shall be guilty of the offense of cruelty to animals. Anyone guilty of the offense of cruelty is liable to a fine not exceeding 500,000 cedis. Anyone guilty of the offense of cruelty is liable to a fine not exceeding 50 cedis. Although the court has ordered for the evacuation of the nomadic herdsmen and their cattle, the question many are asking is whether the DCE and the police commander were right to order for killings of the cattle and herdsmen if threatened by them. So, with the criminal code making it clear for the lives of animals to be protected, do the DC and the police commander having any justification to order for lives of the animals to be deprived when the order of the court did not include that? The Konongo Police Divisional Commander Superintendent George Ohinibwedi, in a response to the killings of some cattle, said officers were compelled to shoot at cattle in Konongo after herdsmen commanded them to charge on police. He said the officers had gone to the Agogo township to evacuate the cattle which had been destroying farmlands, but were forced to shoot and kill the cattle who suddenly charged on them.
Let's move away from this nomadic herdsmen issues. And the minority in Parliament has asked the Health Ministry to stop attempts in a bid to manage the newly built 650-bed University of Ghana Medical Center and allow the facility to operate independently. A statement signed by the minority leader Haruna Idrisu explained measures had been put in place to ensure successful operation and management of the hospital without political interference. It indicated that arrangements by the university to operationalize the hospital are far advanced, with a determination of the staffing norms and a request to the Ministry of Finance for financial clearance to recruit staff. It noted permission to recruit a total of 800 staff to commence operations had been communicated, and what is urgently required from government now is the approval of the loan for phase 2 to ensure that a startup capital is available to operationalize the hospital. There's been a standoff between the ministry and authorities of the University of Ghana Medical Center, that's the University of Ghana as a matter of fact, concerning control of the new hospital, a situation that has stalled its use for more than 1 year. On Tuesday, the officials of the ministry and the university, in a meeting at the Flagstaff House, reaffirmed their resolve to amicably settle the matter following an intervention by the presidency. And that's what the situation is. Some $217 million was spent on the first phase of this medical center we're talking about. Roxanne Nelson Dafiomeko is a member of parliament for the South Day constituency. Joins us on the telephone on this matter. Good evening to you. Thank you very much for your time this evening. Now, your statement is questioning the directive to have the Ministry of Health manage this facility. Exactly why?
Now, good evening to your viewers. Our position is very simple. What we are saying essentially is that this is a purposely built facility for research. It is also to facilitate the students of the university. If you consider the situation now, you realize that the medical school is practically stationed at Kolebu, not because Kolebu founded the University of Ghana Medical School, but because of the proximity of the facility of Kolebu to research of the students. And so we are saying that new facility is supposed to cut down that proximity to facilitate the training where the students can conveniently move from the University of Ghana campus just across the highway, enter this facility and conduct it. The center is also supposed to serve as a multinational research center in West Africa. And so our fear is that when the government takes over this facility,
right,
for purposes of management, some of these foremost factors that we considered in building the facility will be just. We think that the university is semi-autonomous, it is capable, it has the requisite personnel, and has the capacity to be able to run this facility effectively and functionally. And so you don't need the government to intervene or to, as it were, take over the facility in a rumble style.
No, so Dr. Mekwa, let me come in here. What exactly is the problem? I mean, this is a facility, over $217 million spent on the first phase of it, and then there's a disagreement about who manages it when access to quality health care is a problem in this country. Why are we at this point?
Exactly our position, exactly the position of the minority. Why would government be fighting a fully fledged university over who manages a facility that was purposely built for the university? Why should it be so? They have taken over Reach over a year now. Go and find out whether the new Reach hospital is functioning. Well,
I sought some explanation about that cabinet directive for the Ministry of Health to take over the management of that center. And according to Robert Kojo, who speaks for the Ministry of Health, he says that that directive by cabinet was because the Ministry of Health is mandated to ensure the health of the populace, and all health-related facilities, both public and private, come under the supervision of the Ministry of Health.
Is 37 military hospital not a public hospital? Is the police hospital not a public hospital? Is the Smith hospital not a public hospital? So why haven't they taken over this hospital? So we are saying that there are certain health facilities that are purposely built for operationalization of the core functions of certain institutions, including the military, including the Ghana Police Service, including Smith, and of course the University of Ghana.
I see.
So we are saying that this hospital was purposely built to facilitate, one, the training of medical students by the University of Ghana, and two, to also serve as a research center.
Right.
We don't need government to take it over for us to be able to achieve this core function.
So that
is our position.
Right. Thank you for your time this evening. I'm grateful. Roxanne Nelson Dr. Mekwa is the Member of Parliament for the South Dai constituency in Parliament.
Let's still stick with some health issues, and First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo has called for a holistic approach to address maternal mortality in Ghana, inaugurating the newly constructed Mother and Baby Unit at the Comfort Teaching Hospital in Kumasi. She noted a reduction in infant and maternal mortality deaths should remain a priority for Ghanaians. A report by Benjamin Adu.
The new Mother and Baby Unit took 6 months to complete. It was put up with funds raised by the Rebecca Foundation, a project by the First Lady. The fully equipped maternity, neonatal and pediatric intensive care units will help address the high mortality rate as a result of inadequate space and equipment at the old maternity block. Estimated at a cost of 10 million cedis, the facility is expected to reduce mortality rate of mothers and babies at the hospital by about 60%. The First Lady, Rebecca Akufo-Addo, called for a holistic approach to addressing the country's health challenges.
We are capable of developing our own country given our enormous natural and human resources. We look forward to a day when Ghana sits at the negotiating table as worthy partners and from a position of strength.
The Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei-Mensah is excited. The new block will help answer neonatal problems at the hospital.
Statistics indicate that every year more than 200,000 pregnant women and 1 million newborn babies die from maternal health and newborn complications in sub-Saharan Africa. Those are critical time for life-saving interventions, such as what we are witnessing today, and others like postnatal visits, proper hygiene, and counseling.
Chief Executive Officer of CATH, Dr. Ohineba Owusu Danso, is confident the project will solve accommodation challenges facing the unit.
We are therefore overjoyed that thanks to the intervention of the First Lady, which mobilized the efforts and resources of some distinguished personalities and institutions, a new facility designed to provide an interim solution to the problem at hand has been built in a record time for the benefit of our mothers and children.
Health Minister Dr. Kweku Agyemang-Menu assured the facility will be well maintained. The new facility, named after the late Queen Mother of the Asante Kingdom, Nana Efia Kobi Sewa Ampem II, is the only green hospital in Africa certified by the World Bank.
Well, the Vice President, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, was this morning reported sick and under medical observation. A statement signed by the Director of Communications at the Presidency indicated Dr. Bawumia was unwell and was attended to by his doctors.
Away from that, let's do some other stories. And the chairperson of the National Commission for Civic Education, Josephine Nkrumah, wants the media and civil society organizations to partner with it to stir up civic consciousness among Ghanaians. She was speaking at a media briefing to outline the Commission's line-up activities for the year.
In line with Ghana's Silver Jubilee celebration on constitutional democracy, the NCCE will undertake a number of activities to mark 25 years of its establishment as a constitutional body in June 1993 under the National Commission for Civic Education Act, Act 452. The theme for its activities is Our Nation, Our Heritage, Consolidating Ghana's Democratic Gains, and has the overall objective of inculcating in Ghanaians awareness of their rights and responsibilities. It also plans to sensitize and educate the public on anti-corruption and public accountability to promote good governance.
A national campaign on accountability, rule of law, and anti-corruption, known as ARAP, is high on our public education agenda for this year and would complement our role so far under the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan, known as NACAP. Environmental governance, which is situated under the ARAP program, would also feature in our activities this year.
The chairperson of the NCCE noted civic education is a shared responsibility and therefore extended a hand of partnership to the media and civil society.
The Commission seeks to deepen its relationship with the media, and therefore we look forward to the media fraternity promoting the visibility of the work that we do to stir up civic consciousness among the people of Ghana.
On quarterly basis, the NCCE will undertake activities that will cover thematic areas including education on the Constitution of Ghana, democracy education, education on human rights, promoting peace building and conflict resolution, among others.
Well, to some disturbing news, fisher folk of Azizanya, Ayigbo are alarmed over why some indigents still consume puffer fish. It's a poisonous vertebrate. Now, their call comes at the heels of the warning from the Center, that's the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, over the reported sale of puffer fish in the area.
The Margaret Marquardt Catholic Hospital in the Pando district in August last year recorded 5 deaths after victims consumed pufferfish. Another incident was reported on Friday, January 5 this year in the Pando district, prompting officer in charge of Aquatic Research and Development Center at CSIR, Dr. Seth Kurantin Ijakwa, to call for the intensified public education on the deadly fish.
Looks like fishermen are not catching the size of fish that they expect, so they are now moving to any fish at all. We'll continue to advise farmers and then the communities that the puffer fish is not edible. You don't compromise eating the fish.
On Wednesday, January 17, this reporter came across children playing with some aquatic lives at the landing beach at Azizanya, Ayigbo. A closer look revealed some pufferfish apparently discarded by the fishermen after their daily catch. Chief fisherman of Azizanya, Nene Abanaman Kabute, confirmed pufferfish are poisonous and should not be eaten.
This fish is called gada by others, while we the Adans call it kokoi. Everyone, including children in fishing communities, are aware pufferfish is poisonous. We are at a loss as to why some people would now decide to make pufferfish part of what they consume. This is dangerous and must be discouraged immediately.
According to the National Geographic, one pufferfish has enough tetrodotoxin, up to 1,200 times more poisonous than cyanide, capable of killing 30 adults. Now let's roll back and do some more stories on issues regarding cattle and nomadic herdsmen. And the Ghana National Association of Cattle Owners has expressed disappointment over the shooting of cattle by the police, the military operations at Agogo and its environs. The national chairman of the association, Imam Hanafi Sonde, however, condemned the attack on the police military team in Asante Achimagogo by some Fulani herdsmen.
In a bid to end the menace once and for all, and in response to the attack on the members of the task force, the government has revised its strategy, this time with a focus on driving out the nomadic cattle herders. At a news conference in Accra, National Chairman of the Ghana National Association of Cattle Owners stressed the need to investigate the attack and culprit brought to book.
We endorse that investigations should be carried out properly to apprehend the offenders for them to face the law. However, the Ghana National Association of Cattle Farmers is not satisfied with the shoot and kill approach by the security on the cattle within and outside Agogo.
His comment follows a January 8 attack on the police military team in Ashanti Achimagogo by some nomadic herdsmen, injuring 3 military officers. The incident occurred when the military personnel stormed an area where the nomad cattle were grazing. Reports suggest that the herdsmen ordered the cattle to attack the officers, but Imam Hanafi Sunday debunked that assertion.
Attacking sometimes fall on the circumstance. So when you are coming close to it, it thinks that you are coming to the calf, like the chicken. You know the chicken? When the chicken have small chickens and you are coming close to the chicken, even you are just moving away. What did the hen does? The hen tries to approach you. You get me right? That is to defend the chicken, even though you may not be coming there.
Many lives have been lost in the Ashanti, Eastern and Western regions due to Fulani farmer clashes. The Ghana National Association of Cattle Owners wants the task force to reconsider its operational strategy.
It would have been better to rather apprehend the cattle owners, to get the cattle owners to face the law. So therefore, if you have come and then the mandate is to send the people away, the court ruled that the people who have refused to go away after the court ruling, the herdsmen, should be sent away by force. I'm not sure that the court did indicated that the cattle should be shot.
The association also wants government to support the Ghana Cattle Ranting Project Committee set up in November last year to find a lasting solution to the problem.
We'll be back with more News 360. Stay with us. Welcome back to News 360. It's now time for some business. And let's start off from the banking sector. Universal Merchants Bank, UMB, is set has set to roll out a new mobile application software to make banking services easier. At a media soiree in Accra, the Chief Executive Officer, John Ewa, also announced the bank will meet the minimum capital requirement of the Bank of Ghana before the end of the year.
Universal Merchants Bank UMB started last year with new strategies in reaching its customers, small, medium enterprises and corporate clients. With excellent service delivery at its various branches, the bank intends to expand its business locations nationwide as well as invest in other infrastructure. The UMB mobile app, to be rolled out, will be a new way of banking on the go.
UMB Speed App is not one of the apps that we have in the market. It is a different way of banking on the go. It is a different way of banking while you are on your bed, you are in your washroom, at the dining table, driving in traffic, in school, in the office, wherever you find yourself. We want to provide you the opportunity to be able to bank with us.
On the minimum capital requirement review from 120 million to 400 million cedis by the Bank of Ghana, the CEO said the bank is set to meet the capital requirement ahead of the December deadline.
We have decided not just to look for money, we are looking for strategic partners. So we appointed one of the leading investment banking firms in Africa, Renaissance Capital, who are helping us as partners to look for a partner who will be a strategic fit to all the things that we do at UMB.
As part of its strategies for 2018, UMB intends to engage more with the media.
We want in 2018 to partner very strongly with the Ghana Institute of Journalism, and our plan is to bring a world-class media practitioner, the semblance of a workshop where we will invite business reporters, key media personnel to interact and have a discussion and some talking points with people who have done it at an extremely higher level and also on the international circles.
President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Dr. Afel Moni, lauded the bank for opening up to the media and entreated other corporate bodies to emulate UMB's example. The event brought together senior editors of the various media houses across the country.
Now, information technology company Samsung Electronics is promising Africans the latest smart technologies that will improve social lives and businesses this year. The world-respected brand and producer of electronics is promising most fulfilling social life and business secrets accessible in simple devices.
The South Korean multinational conglomerate Samsung is a standout producer and marketer of electronic products, currently owning 45% market shares in Africa. It has produced quality technologies over the years and secured best manufacturing and selling positions on the global market. To expand further, the company has launched its operational roadmap and vision for this year. Samsung Vision Africa 2018 will create the future through more smart and innovative technologies, products and designs that will enrich people's lives and contribute to social prosperity.
Customer wants to see through this marketing is, hey, what's the latest, greatest product in terms of technology and the usability. Samsung Watch can lock and unlock your car. So you don't need to bring your car keys at all.
On the roadmap are regular communication, reviews and feedback portals to enhance service delivery.
Samsung will have clear and transparent regular communication. QBR means a quarterly business review. We will have this session and the breakout session with key distributors and key dealers. We will make a plan and get your feedback, and based on your feedback, we will change or update, reflect your recommendations.
Sung Yong says the company is targeting mass markets across the globe. and pointed out media campaigns and promotional packages are key in fulfilling the dream. Leveraging on Ghana's peaceful atmosphere, Sung Young said the company might consider assembling plants in Ghana.
There is a potential Samsung will review. Market is big enough or not. So the third part is from Ghana, if we can ship to other countries with reasonable tax support or benefits. Things combined, I think we can consider in the future as a long term.
The company is training females in information technology as part of its corporate social responsibility.
Well, that's all for business this evening. We'll be back with some sports news after this. Don't go away.
Welcome back. Let's now go for some international news.
Kenya's health minister is investigating claims that the new mothers were sexually assaulted at a flagship hospital in the capital, Nairobi. Social media posts allege that male staff members targeted the women when they went to feed their babies. The Kenyatta National Hospital said the reports were untrue and denied any assaults took place. The CEO, Lily Chorus, has asked anyone with evidence to pass it to the hospital or the police. One poster said that she knew of a woman who had given birth to twins via cesarean and was attacked on her way to see them. The woman scared the attackers away by screaming, she said. Health Minister Cleopa Maleu said he wanted a report into the allegations by Monday. Pope Francis has triggered anger in Chile after accusing victims of a pedophile priest of slander. Francis said there was no proof for their claims, that abuse by Father Fernando Caradima had been covered up by another man, Bishop Juan Barros. One Caradima victim said the Pope's earlier plea for forgiveness over clerical sex abuse was empty. The Pope made his comments on Thursday before celebrating Mass in northern Chile. The day someone brings me proof against Bishop Barros, then I will talk, the Pope told journalists. The Catholic Church suffered a body blow in Chile in 2010 when Father Caradima was publicly accused of molesting several teenage boys in the capital, Santiago, starting in the 1980s. In 2011, the Vatican found him guilty of abusing teenage boys and sentenced to a lifetime of penance and prayer. Pope Francis arrived in Peru late on Thursday for a 3-day visit which will conclude his two-nation south.
Now let's take some entertainment news.
Entertainment news is brought to you by
Now in entertainment tonight, Miss Universe Ghana 2004, Minaye Donko Muntari says she was unimpressed by the caliber of young women who sought to audition for the pageant when she took over. She also urged young women looking at joining these type of pageants to concentrate not only on beauty but also their intellect and confidence. 14 years ago, her beauty and brains earned her the bragging rights as Miss Universe Ghana. Currently, Minaye Donko is dedicated to crowning and mentoring other young women who seek to fly the flag of Ghana high. A model, actress and businesswoman, Minaye recounts the challenges she's faced since she took over the management of the pageant in April last year.
For me, I had to work 10 times harder to prove myself that this was not what it was in the past, and because there's so many issues surrounding just pageantry in Ghana, and it was just about the right time to just have it in a different light.
Next to advance is Ghana.
In 2017, Ruth Kwashi made it to the round of 16 at the World Finals, which also happens to be Ghana's best position since Ekuba Kujo qualified as a top 10 finalist in 1999. Minaye expressed gratitude for having been able to chalk that feat only during her first year.
It was just amazing. I was just like, thank you, Jesus, you know? But it's just hard work. And I think our work ethics just showed that we're not here to joke around. We're here to just make a difference.
When asked about the sex for crown scandal that hit the national beauty pageant recently, Minaya tentatively stressed that pageant hopefuls should not be perturbed by the rumors and scandals, but rather motivated to go for the credible ones.
I don't know how true, like how far this is true or if it even happened. You know, it's very difficult to point at certain people or say, hey, this organization did a really bad job. Or it's unfortunate, but our organization, we run on a very transparent format. The organizers raise their own monies. The women just need to be physically, mentally, and emotionally ready.
She urged the tourism ministry to play a more active role in the supervision of the pageant industry in Ghana to help maintain some sanity and discipline.
No, but we need to have an organization that oversees and protects the national directors as well. I definitely think that would be.
Well, I think that was good.
Yeah.
At least from you, you got some things out of her.
Definitely.
She says you should go for the credible pageants.
Yeah.
Because speak for Ghana's most beautiful.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Beauty with brains. Redefining beauty
Watch out
to
for the
promote
men.
national
We're
unity.
putting something together.
Ghana's most handsome?
You never know.
Okay.
Some of us will contest. But thank you for staying with us over the 60 minutes. On behalf of the rest of the team, we're grateful. My name is Alfred Okansi.
And I am Solis Rose Corte. Enjoy your weekend.